insurance. Do it face to face.
Buy-to-let, thatched, commercial. We're your high street insurance brokers for all types of insurance. Avoid faceless internet firms.
High House Insurance. Do it face to face.
See Neil and the friendly team at High Street Selsey.
High House Insurance. Do it face to face.
Or call Selsey 606 552.
Hello, Beryl Fletcher from Selsey Internet Radio, welcoming you to this week's programme. Now over to what's on in Selsey. A reminder that during term time, the Snack Shack opens every Monday and Tuesday evening from 6 p.m, where young people in Selsey can just drop in to play either tabletop football, watch TV, enjoy music, buy cheap refreshments and generally relax with friends in a safe and friendly warm environment. Again for youngsters, on a Monday evening from 5 to 7 p.m, junior basketball takes place in the Academy School. Seal Island Swimming Club meet every Wednesday and Friday morning, held in the Oasis Pool at 9:30 a.m. Dance and tone sessions take place with Ross MacArthur. These are held in the Selsey Centre on Monday mornings from 9:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m, where I understand you just drop in. For those dog lovers, dog ring craft training classes are held at the Selsey Centre on Monday evenings from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m, run by Chichester and District Canine Society. For any further details, I suggest you contact the Selsey Centre on 603 836, where they should be able to give you a contact number. Following the winter break, the next meeting for the Selsey History Society will be held on Thursday the 13th of March in St Peter's Church Hall, commencing at 7:30 p.m, with the speaker for the evening being Chris Hare, who will be delving into our history in a talk entitled Saxon Sussex. Friends and guests will be welcome as usual for the cost of £1.50, which does include refreshments. For any further information concerning the society, please contact the Secretary, John Mason, on 607 037. The Selsey Horticultural Society's next meeting is on Friday the 14th of March at 7:30 p.m. This is held in the Selsey Centre, where John Negus will be welcome with a talk entitled 12 Months of Colour. New members and visitors are always welcome. Membership is £7 per year, visitors £1. The Venture Bus is available. Telephone 605 115 to book a place. For further information, contact Linda Brown on 601 483. Time Aside will be holding a series of art workshops in St Peter's Church Hall from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. on Thursdays, the 13th and 27th of March, and again on the 10th of April. They are intended for people in their third age, regardless of their artistic ability, sensory or other needs. Each workshop will involve chat, tea, coffee, biscuits and creative fun, such as drawing, painting and modelling. There is a charge of £3.50 for each session, and transport can be arranged. Application forms and further information may be obtained from the Selsey Information Exchange in Penny Lane in the High Street. Almost as much fun, volunteers will be needed to keep the tea and coffee flowing at each of these sessions. If you'd like to help out, please let Simon Keane know on 605 791. Thank you. Now it's over to Tony.
This is Tony Weiner for Selsey Internet Radio. I'm here with Mr. Matt Batchelor, who is the head teacher at Seal Primary Academy. And the school has just had a Ofsted inspection. But before we discuss that, Mr. Batchelor, perhaps you would like to tell us a little bit about the school.
Absolutely. Okay, the school is a two-form entry school, so we have 2 classes in every year group. We've currently got 385 children in the school, so we are very, very nearly full. I think we have about 35 places left altogether. We run from reception through to year 6, and we have a really wide and varied curriculum. So the school has 2 key focuses. One is reading, writing and mathematics, and really getting those basic skills up for the children, because that's what's going to see them through life very well. And the other key area that we really look at is developing the personal skills. So whether it be about making friendships, having confidence, believing in themselves, and really working hard at what they do. So the things that we do in the curriculum to really get that going are a whole range of things, including lots and lots of sports. We have what Ofsted referred to as an inspirational sports coach, and he is absolutely fantastic. He works with every single year group and all the teachers as well on developing their teaching. And it means that we can offer a whole range of sports, including things like football, gymnastics, fencing. Yeah, absolutely, and hockey. In addition to that, the curriculum is very broad in other areas such as science and art and DT and things like that. It's a really broad and balanced curriculum which develops that whole child. So it's not just about reading, writing, mathematics, although those are incredibly important, but it is about developing that love of learning and that love of being at school, which will see them through the rest of their lives.
Now, I noticed through the school as I've been shown around, I see the tagline, aspire, believe, achieve.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's what you're living up to. Okay, well, thank you very much. Now, one thing I did notice, and I've heard around the village, is this thing called the Kemnal Academies Trust, or TCAT, which we see at the senior school, the academy, and also Chichester High School and elsewhere. Could you tell us what the TCAT does for us and what it is?
Okay, yeah. The school became an academy in April 2012, and part of becoming an academy, they joined up with a trust. And TCAT, or the Kemnal Academies Trust, is a trust that works in the southeast of England. It's currently one of the biggest trusts in the UK, and they have 25 primary schools and 14 secondary schools. Essentially what they do for the school is they have an overview of the school, and they provide support where we need it, just like the local authority did. But because they are smaller than the local authority, it means that they can get into schools quicker to give them the support that they need. So we benefited greatly from being with TCAT.
Okay, it sounds like a good thing. And it means then you're associated with other schools in the community.
Yeah.
The senior school, the secondary school,
yeah,
and the other schools in Chichester. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Now, do you have a parent-teachers association with the school?
Yep, we do. It's called Friends of Seal, and they are very active. They're fairly new. I think we started them in my second term here, so that would be in the summer term last year. But they are brilliant, and the reason why we've got Friends of Seal rather than a PTA is because we want to encourage people who don't have children here but want to get involved in the school to be part of that fundraising and volunteer part of the school life.
That's good, so we could encourage some of our listeners perhaps to participate.
Absolutely.
So how would they find out about that? How would they?
They can go onto our website, which is www.seal-tcat.org, and click on the Contact Us part of that.
Thank you very much. Okay, now then, as I said at the beginning, you had an Ofsted inspection. I know Ofsted inspires great fear into the world. But perhaps before we do that, could you just explain what is Ofsted and what does it do for you or to the parents?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So Ofsted is an independent body that sits away from the government, so they're not part of the government, and they're there to make sure that the schools in England and Wales are doing what they should do. And essentially what happens is they phone you up at 12 o'clock one day and say we're going to be in your school at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Gosh.
Kind of a pretty robust way of seeing how a school operates day to day. They come in, a team of inspectors, normally for 2 days. And we had 3 inspectors one day and 2 inspectors the next. And they go through the school absolutely thoroughly, and they have clear areas they need to look at to judge the effectiveness of the school. And what's really important is that we recognise that they're not just looking at what's going on the day that they come in, because anyone can put on a show. They go through books, they go through previous data, they really trawl through lots of stuff, lots of paperwork from since the last inspection, and they make a judgment on how the school operates over a period of time rather than just on a couple of days that they're in.
And I understand that they've enhanced the level, so it's much harder to get good or outstanding.
Absolutely. In 2012, they decided that they were going to make it a lot harder than it already was, and it was already fairly tricky. Yes. And to get outstanding is pretty impossible, but always an aspiration. So if you're hitting a good, then you're doing very, very well.
So those in the past that got good probably would no longer be good, is that right?
In some cases that's true, and in some cases schools that are outstanding have now been downgraded to quiet improvement, which is their old satisfactory. Yeah,
wow,
it's hard. It's hard.
Okay then, so down to the nitty gritty then. So how did your school do or fare?
We did very well. We did exactly as we would expect. We got good overall with some outstanding features. So we had a good judgment for the quality of teaching, and they saw nothing but good and outstanding teaching in the 2 days they were here, and which is what we see day to day in the school. They graded us good for achievement of pupils, and they graded behaviour as outstanding and leadership and management as outstanding as well.
Gosh, that does sound very impressive. And what are the plans then for the future? To be outstanding, presumably?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Well, judgment we got was probably the highest you can get before reaching outstanding, because if teaching and learning is outstanding, then achievement has to be. So our next step is absolutely outstanding, which we will get to in a very short period of time.
Wow. Well, we look forward to that then, Mr. Batchelor.
Absolutely.
And I think on behalf of Selsey, I think we must thank you for giving our children such a wonderful start in life. So
thank you.
I'll come back and when you get the outstanding award.
See you next year then.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you, Tony. That was good news. Hugh has news from Caroline's Dairy.
Our favourite ice cream maker, Caroline's Dairy, based at Selsey, are celebrating after winning 2 medals at the National Ice Cream Competition at Harrogate last week. Caroline Spivey and her team were awarded the silver medal in the open flavour class for their mascarpone with Amarino cherry marbling, and a bronze medal in the mango sorbet class. They also received a diploma of merit in the Cadbury class for their Belgian chocolate ice cream. The National Ice Cream Competition is run by the Ice Cream Alliance, and it is the only one of its kind in the UK, so winning an award is a huge accolade for Caroline and her team. Caroline has previously received merits and diploma of merits for flavours including double dairy, Belgian chocolate, toffee and honeycomb, coffee espresso, stem ginger, lime and chilli, white mint choc chip and stem ginger and honeycomb. However, these are the first medals the team has been awarded, and they couldn't be prouder. Caroline told us, "We're more than delighted when we got the message that 2 of our products had won medals in this year's awards. As dairy farmers, we really know our ingredients, and we will always make that extra effort to get the best possible flavour. We're so pleased that our hard work and passion has been recognised by these awards." Caroline started her ice cream business in 2008. Since then, she's been producing luxury handmade ice cream and sorbets from the working dairy farm in Selsey. The ice cream is made in small batches using only the milk from their cows, which is then combined with carefully sourced ingredients and locally produced fruit to make over 20 delicious flavours of ice cream and 5 sorbets. We'd like to congratulate Caroline, and we're quite certain 1 year, quite soon, we'll be announcing the fact that she's won a gold medal.
Now we are down the high street with the Selsey shopper.
Hello, I'm Pat Reed, the March Selsey shopper. On my walk along the high street this week, a few places caught my eye. We have a few charity shops in Selsey where you can pick up a bargain. There are also bargains to be had in the Selsey Carers Information Centre on the corner of East Street, which has a window full of donated items, with all the money going to a very good cause. If you're a carer and want to chat, it's good to know that there are people who are there to listen and can help you. The centre is open weekdays from 10 until 2 and 12 noon on Saturdays, and closed on Wednesdays. I also noticed that Delightful Things R Us are advertising a sale, so I stepped inside to have a look. They do have some beautiful and unusual items in this shop, with a huge range of giftware suiting all pockets. I'm told the sale will be on for at least a month. I spoke to Teresa, who told me that she was arranging, along with Tuppenny Rice, the lovely Victorian tea room in the High Street, a street festival to take place on the 1st of June. It'll be called the Selsey D-Day Festival, and they are at present looking for anyone willing to give a helping hand. They're hoping for a band, stalls, a stage where there'll be dancing and entertainment, and the stalls will be £10 per table, and any entertainers out there who would like to participate can telephone Teresa during shop hours on 607 335. It's intended to bring the whole town together and hopefully involve as many organisations as possible, such as RNLI, Brownies, Guides, RNA, etc. In fact, anyone who would like to take part in a grand parade or have a stall. So any street entertainers out there or anyone wishing to participate in this in any way, give Teresa a call on 607 335 during shop hours. We're very lucky in Selsey to have places where you can go for a chat if you feel lonely or just want to have a quiet cuppa. The shop is a very friendly cafe described as a drop-in where you don't have to spend a fortune as their tea and coffee is only £1. They serve snacks also very reasonably priced, and with a backdrop of an art studio and many fair trade products on sale, there's plenty to look at and a nice convivial atmosphere to while away an hour or so. The shop is open each morning until 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Don't forget that if you're looking for very reasonably priced wines, there's absolutely no need to go into Chichester, as various places in Selsey are selling their wines at very competitive prices. The Coffee Republic, or Liquid Merchant as they are also known, is doing Blossom Hill and other wines at £12 for 3 bottles. You can also get lunch there whilst taking advantage of their soft sofas and free newspapers. I also see that the Rock Shop is doing special offers on wine at the moment. There's a huge range of wine at our long-established Selsey off licence, and One Stop also has good offers, to name but a few. That's just a few of our great shops mentioned here this month, and there'll be a few more next month. So bye for now.
Over to Lynn for her recipe for crisps and chips.
Hugh, today we're going to talk about potatoes, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We are.
And we have to begin with Maris Piper, because in my opinion, that's the best potato of all.
It's great for mashing, it's great for chips.
And it's great for roast potatoes.
And roast potatoes, because it goes all nice and fluffy, you see,
That's
when
right.
you do the roast potatoes. Maris Piper are the best potatoes. Very versatile, very versatile.
Yeah. Where do you get yours from? I get mine from the boys opposite the end of West Street.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good, yeah.
About £8 a sack.
Yeah.
They're brilliant.
Are they? Oh, that's really good then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do buy mine locally.
Now go and talk to John.
John the
Greengrocer.
veg.
Yeah.
We call him Johnny the Veg. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He's very good, and he does a good deal down there too.
That's right,
His prices are brilliant. I've been getting my strawberries from him lately, and they're excellent. They're really sweet. I had the biggest strawberry in the world yesterday, and I put a picture of it on the internet actually because it was so huge. But when I bit it, I thought it's going to be tasteless, and it was so sweet. It was lovely.
Really?
So thank you, John the Veg Man. Anyway.
So you got your Maris Pipers.
You get your Maris Pipers. Now, I found a little anecdote in a little book that I found, a little Victorian book, and it's got lots of little wise sayings and things. And there's a little saying in there that says, "Never eat a green potato."
Why not? My granny used to tell me that.
Yeah, apparently it's really bad for you, and you can have a collapse from it if you eat
Really?
too many. I think you have to eat quite a lot of them. But it's got something. What it says in this book, I'm going to read it because I'm not too sure on my sciences. White potato flesh contains small amounts of the alkaloids solanine and chaconine, but when they're exposed to light, they can be quite dangerous, and heat doesn't destroy them. So if you eat quite a lot of them, you could end up with a collapse. So don't eat a green potato. I think you're all right with a little bit.
So we're going to do chips and crisps.
Chips and crisps today.
All right, you do crisps, I'll do chips.
That's brilliant. So I'll start with my crisps then.
Go on then.
Okay, so they're really, really easy to do. So you want £2 of your Maris Piper potatoes from Johnny the Veg Man, all right? You want 3 tablespoons of olive oil, some sea salt, and some cayenne pepper's really nice, but you could use just black pepper if you wanted to, and some vegetable oil cooking spray.
Yeah.
So you get yourself your little pan and you spray it with your vegetable oil. So this is quite a thin crisps, all right?
Yeah.
Preheat the oven to 400.
So how do you make the crisp thin?
Mandolin them.
Oh,
you know, you've
yeah.
got a mandolin. I mean, if you're very good with a knife, that's great. And if you've got a really sharp knife,
Mandolin's better, isn't it?
mandolin's a much better way to do it. Lightly coat the 2 rimmed. So you want it rimmed. The baking tray's got to be a little bit rimmed, all right?
Yeah.
Lightly coat it with your vegetable oil. Rest the oil, a tablespoon of salt and some cayenne pepper into a bowl, and season it with your sea salt and pepper. Toss it about into your potatoes so your potatoes get nice and coated. Lay them flat in the bottom of the pan, about a quarter of an inch apart, something like that, and chuck them in the oven that you've preheated to 400 degrees, all right?
Right, yeah.
When they've gone nice and crispy and golden brown on the top, turn them over, and they'll go nice and crispy and golden brown on the bottom, and it's as simple as that. It really is.
Well, it sounds not actually all that different from my chips.
Yeah.
I've spent the last 10 years of my life trying to get down below 16 stone and failing miserably. Part of the problem is I love chips, and I think chips go with everything, with omelettes, with steak, with and all the stuff I love, and it's supposedly bad for you. Anyway, I found this recipe in one of the Weight Watchers books, and basically what you do is you peel the Paris piper, you cut them up into really thick chips, you boil them in boiling water for 4 minutes, just that's to soften them up a bit. Lay them out on a tray, on a baking tray, which you sprayed with olive oil. Lay the chips on top, spray them again with olive oil, and then sprinkle sea salt and black pepper all over them. Shove them in an oven at 400 degrees, and after about 10 minutes, turn them over. And then you got the most fantastic chips, almost as good as the ones you buy at Den's or the Riviera.
Yeah, very good.
And you don't, apparently, put too much weight on.
Well, you might do if you ate too much of them, eh?
Yeah,
It
that's
depends
true.
on how many you eat, really, Hugh.
All right,
But
so
yeah.
we've done chips and crisps.
Chips and crisps today, and
right.
potatoes.
Well, thanks a lot.
See you
Thanks.
next week.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Many thanks, Lynn. Time for Thea and the wonder of email.
The wonder of email. One really should ask oneself, what does it all mean? Sitting for hours by a small flat screen, watching and waiting, oh so keen to see if a message will soon appear to bring us news and allay our fear. Has Auntie May had her op today? Did it go well? Oh, do please say. She lives in Australia, so far away. I can only cross fingers and pray. My neck is cricked, my shoulders tense, my posture all cramped and bent. A message awaits in your box, I read. At last there's some news, just as agreed. Auntie is fine. The op went well. She'll be up and about very soon, we can tell. Shock, horror, oh, bloody hell. That's not the news I was waiting to hear. I've ordered the wreath, bought a black dress, written the obituary to send to the press. My ticket to Aussie and untold wealth must now sit unused on the kitchen shelf. A long-awaited letter would have been kinder, methinks, when the news you've awaited so long really stinks.
Now Ellis reviews The Girl of Slender Means.
This is my third book review, and it's called The Girls of Slender Means. It's by Muriel Spark. I've just finished rereading this very short book. It is humorous, witty, and ruthless in its treatment of its characters, who are the members of a shabby genteel boarding house run by a charity called the May of Tech Club. That title, by the way, Princess May of Tech, became Queen Mary, wife of George V. It is housed significantly in 3 stories in London, which are layered into rooms and dormitories. The population includes, among others, brainy but naive Jane, Joanna the elocutionist and daughter of the vicarage, mad Pauline, wilful Stella, 3 aged spinster ladies, and a host of otherwise interesting and extreme people. There is an American colonel in intelligence. This is all set in 1945. And clothing coupons are a ready currency, as is the universal borrowing of a Schiaparelli dress. Muriel Spark uses flash-forward, poetic quotes, internal monologue, and the most lucid prose, no doubt from her early days as a poet, editing the Poetry Review. Such experience makes the use of sound and rhythm convey the meaning intended, as well as the literal word. Now, it's unusual to recommend, or at least for me to recommend, a visit to Wikipedia, though I'm beginning to think it's quite a good way of cutting short my voice. You can read in Wikipedia what I've already read. But I strongly do so in the case of Muriel Spark. Did I mention her great novel, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie? No, I didn't, but I do now, and I shouldn't be surprised if a lot of you have read that and seen the film. Actually, it was the film that led me to the book. But I'd already found The Girls of Slender Means. There's so much of Muriel Spark to read, and it's all good. So go on, folks, get cracking on Muriel Spark.
And we finish with Thought for the Day from Thea.
Let it be. This is my thought for the day. We spend an awful lot of time searching. Answers. We must have answers. Just let it be. I'd like to leave you with this thought. We try to evade the question of existence with property, prestige, power, production, fun, and ultimately by trying to forget that I exist. No matter how often he thinks of God, or goes to church, or how much he believes in religious ideas, if he, the whole man, is deaf to the question of existence, if he does not have an answer to it, he is marking time, and he lives and dies like one of the million things that he produces. He thinks of God instead of experiencing God. So there's your answer. Don't think. Experience and let it be.
Hope you enjoyed this week's programme. Please listen again next week.